The experience of Horizon is watching these dancers navigate their way through various combinations and activities. There's times where it's very physically challenging, and I think that some of the drama that you feel is the effort required or the task that's laid before them that they need to complete. Michael and I have worked together for maybe 30 years.
When I approach composing the music, I'm always looking for very specific things in the dance that pop out at me. So with Liz's work, there's always going to be certain movements that are kind of stunning, that really jump out at you, and are quirky and are very unique to her way of working. In the first few viewings, those things leap out at me, and I start to have some ideas based on that.
With Horizon, I sort of decided to see, as a challenge to myself with these 7 dancers, how long I could keep them on stage for doing separate and individual activities without it getting to the point where it was too confusing for the audience.
The request from Liz came at a point where I was kind of exploring some new ideas compositionally, sort of combining improvisation with composition, and I call this free composition. I work with all kinds of sounds, and where they interest me is how they can be abused and changed through processing. One of the most prominent sources is a recording I have of Gregorian chant. I liked the way it came out of the opening, which was this kind of percussive sound, this very kind of gritty electronic-y sound, and then it just kind of comes out into this really beautiful chanting. And it creates a space that I think is really cool. And a lot of the piece is concerned with space. There's a lot of reverb, artificial reverb, convolution reverbs, where I can really place a sound in any space imaginable.
Michael and I have thought about the relationship between music and dance in different ways.
We started from a kind of aesthetic that's familiar from Cage and Cunningham's work, a sort of accidental coming together, and over the years we've really talked about, well, how can we go beyond that, and how can we link these two areas so that they're informing each other and really talking about each other. I really feel like the music, not that it should motivate the dance, but that it should be inspired by the movement, and in turn, hopefully inspire the dancers.
At some point in my own development, when I was working on my movement vocabulary, I became very interested in this idea of pushing the boundaries of physicality. And that, to some degree, incorporates this idea of repetition. To do a lunge one time is one thing, to do it 20 times is really asking something very different from the body. It was more like a personal quest to tire myself out, or to really push myself, or to really make movement that I felt I could fully embody and just give myself 100% to physically. To me, it was very liberating when I let go of that sense of, what is my body supposed to look like? And instead started thinking about, what is my body feeling? What am I doing? Of course, we're performers and there's an audience who is watching, so at some point, especially me, I'm looking at them, and then there will be corrections to that effect. Your arm isn't here, it's there. But the focus is more how they're going about the motion of the step.